Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to be talking Maggotkin of Nurgle again, and that's because we've had another Warscroll leak. Someone has found one of those brand new red boxes with another one of the Warscrolls. And this one's a little bit interesting because it is the Wurmspat Underworld's Warband, or former Underworld's Warband, because I believe they've just been phased out, haven't they, in the current season, because they're from 2 seasons ago. And so we found their Warscroll. So there's some really interesting things on that because, of course, we'll get maybe a look at how some of the characters are shaping up, and we'll also get a look at like Black Kings as well. There's a really interesting sort of look, I think, at the Wurmspat. So we're going to have a look at the Warscroll today, talk a little bit about it, maybe gain a little bit more insight with what we're seeing from the Warscrolls we've already seen. Obviously the future Black Kings, I'll leave a link up at the top of the screen for that if you'd like to go watch that video first. But I really do think there's some interesting stuff coming up for Nurgle. I'm really excited to see where we go. So without further ado, let's get cracking on and let's go check out that Warscroll. And so here we have the Warscroll. So obviously we've got Fecular, Flyblown here, and the Wurmspat as well. So let's talk about Fecular for starters. She's interesting. So she does have a few little upgrades. First of all, she's got a 3-inch range instead of a 2-inch, which is nice. Maybe this is something we could be seeing on more Warscrolls for the army. An increase in range. We obviously haven't seen it down in the Wurmspat and the Black Kings we've seen previously, though this does give some hope. And she also gained a couple of extra attacks. However, she did change to damage 1 rather than damage D3. So rather than 1 attack at damage D3, she got the same process of 4s, 3s at Ren 1. However, she is now 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, Ren 1, damage 1, instead of 1 attack, 4, 3, Ren 1, damage D3. Which is nice. This is a little bit more consistent. It means she's probably going to get through that damage at least every turn. She's not going to do nothing or everything. She's going to do probably just 1 damage a turn in combat. I think this is generally a little bit better. But, you know, she's not meant for combat. 3-inch range is nice, though. And hopefully we can see that across other Warscrolls that maybe will make more utilised work of that sort of increase of range. Now the Wurmspat, first of all, we've already talked about Putrid Black Kings. I think they're really interesting. First of all, they've gone up from 3 attacks to 5 attacks, keeping the same profile other than getting some rend, which is really nice. Obviously, we lost the Blight Cyst Battalion, as we've talked about, and that was how you got the rend on the Black Kings and really made that army sort of click. But now you're just getting it in general. Was completely expected, I guess, from anyone sort of looking at the Auric Warclans and Stormcast Eternal books. We probably knew we were expecting rend on these models. However, I think what's interesting on them as well is you're probably losing the D6 attacks and it's just going to plain exploding 6s. Though, you know, it could be still D6 attacks, and if they're 5 attacks each and exploding on 6s, I mean, you're almost guaranteed 1 per every model, so that could be pretty sweet. The rest of their stat line stayed pretty similar. 4-inch move, 4+ save, 8 bravery. We're seeing the same 8 bravery on both Fecular and the Wurmspat here, which probably means we're seeing the same bravery army-wide, sticking the same. However, the big one for me is Black Kings going up to 5 wounds apiece. There's 2 things on this. First of all, I don't think we'll see the wound increase on Black King champions anymore. I think it'll just be 5 wounds for every model. You'll probably see something like +1 to hit or +1 attack on a Black King champion, I think, now. 5 wounds, though, on a 4-up save. So 5 models, that is 25 wounds on a 4-up save. That is the same as a Mega Gargant, which is pretty sort of good. I mean, sorry, it's not quite a Mega Gargant, but it's getting close to. That's the same sort of defensive role, you know, on a 4-up. Mega Gargants have 10 more wounds. It's 75%-ish or whatever of a Mega Gargant. That's those sort of numbers. That could be pretty sweet. Like, that's a lot of wounds to have to chew through. Imagine a unit of 10 Black Kings. There's going to be 50 wounds on a 4-up, potentially 3-up save. That's going to be really nasty, especially with a 5-up ward after that. It's going to be absolutely horrendous to try and get through if we are indeed going to see 5-wound Black Kings. Obviously, the Warscroll for the Black Kings we've seen. Someone didn't know how to take a photo and didn't take a photo of the actual wounds, especially since if it has changed, that could be absolutely massive for them. But this, for me, this is a really cool Warscroll. I'm excited to see 5 wounds. If this is what Black Kings are looking like, I think they're going to be really interesting in the game. They'll have to have gone up points surely with an extra wound in their profile, because that's just going to make them so tanky, which honestly is what we want for Nurgle. We want Nurgle to be that super tanky army. We don't want Nurgle getting blown off the table. We want them to be able to just sit and hold. So with that said, let us know what you think of this Warscroll. What do you think of 5 Wound Black Kings? I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on that. Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, drop us a comment in the video and let us know what you enjoyed about it as well. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the description of the video to our Discord server. You can come chat with me and other members. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining Patreon or YouTube members linked in the video's description, or by getting some merch from Teespring, also linked in the video's description. We'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel on Patreon and YouTube members, so a special shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Alvarin Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Adina226, Anton Nielsen, JJ Austrian, and Average Wargamer. And a shout out to our YouTube members as well: Greenroots Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Zealot, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, and Wolfric Nick. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Everything here is done by her. She does an amazing job, so thank you very much. And lastly, a special shout out to Xmorphic, who does all the background work on the Discord server, keeps it running smoothly and makes it amazing, because I am terrible with computers. So thank you, Xmorphic, as well. That's it for today though, folks. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.